Now we're live. Okay. All right, folks. Who are you?
I'm Charla.
Hey, I'm Justin.
We're sweethearts or rivals.
Yep.
Okay. I get it. That's why I do that a lot. I don't want to mispronounce people's names. That's
Okay.
especially with some tougher names like Ignacy and them. But
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pronounce that. Or mispronounce that, I should say.
Yeah. All right. So, Carla, how did you get started in the board game hobby?
Let me see. Well,
The long version or the short version?
It's your dime.
We actually met in high school playing role-playing games. So Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, stuff like that. And then we got into Magic, which was interesting. And then kind of just got out of all of that. And it was a while ago. And we started looking for board games and ended up buying a lot of Simpsons versions of old classic board games.
Okay.
That were kind of not that fun.
Yeah. No, we just didn't know where to look for the cool board games.
Yeah.
And it took us a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was actually the first episode of Tabletop, and I saw Small World. And
we're like, those are the games we're looking for.
Yeah, yeah. So I went looking for that and didn't find it, but I found Carcassonne. And Carcassonne was probably the game that got us into like modern designer board games. And we just went nuts collecting that and then trying to find as much as we could.
Yeah, and in searching for like all the different expansions for Carcassonne, we like stumbled across all these different websites on how to find cool games.
Yeah.
And where to buy all our Carcassonne stuff.
Yeah.
And then that led us into all the other awesome games we have now.
Yeah. And then realizing how much money board games were, because I think like I didn't really expect it to be that expensive. So doing that, we found Board Game Geek, started listening to a lot of the other reviewers online and really doing our homework before we would shell out the money for it. And that kind of just grew the hobby in us, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say researching the hobby became like a hobby.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. BBG is a very resourceful site. A little tough to navigate for somebody just starting, but
starting, for sure. But once you get a hang of it,
Yep.
Okay, so how did Sweethearts or Rivals come about?
Well, I'm not exactly certain about that. I think the first thing was like, tabletop looks cool. I bet we can do that.
Yeah. And a little bit too of the researching the games became almost like another part of the hobby. We were watching a lot and a lot of reviewers, and I guess it was just over a year ago, and Charla said we should do that.
Yeah, because we kept watching Rado, and he always mentions Jen, and he does him and Jen, but we never see Jen, and I'm like, I can be Jen. Well, Justin's Jen.
So that's what we started doing. I think our very first video was for Relic Runners.
Relic Runners, yeah.
Yeah. And then from that, we just started going with the games that we liked the most. And then, of course...
stuff we were comfortable with.
Yeah. Half a shelf of games became like a whole shelf, and then a whole shelf became 2 shelves. And
now it's 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm up to, 4? Yeah, it'll grow. So I was impressed on how your logo came about. Why don't you tell us how that came about?
Oh, well, I was just searching around the internet to try to find something close to what I wanted, and I came across this website that she gave tutorials on how to draw certain things. So she had this logo. It was actually like 2 angels just staring at each other, similar to what I have for our logo. So I took that inspiration and then put it in Paint Shop Pro and filled it all in and colored it and made a little game board thing for the bottom and put that in, and it was born.
Yep. It was kind of nice after you were finished and we had it. We're like, that's really awesome. Can we technically use it? Because we kind of took it from her, but we emailed her and said, if we put your website in our credits, is that cool? And she was totally okay with it. So
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just surprised at how nice it came. I don't have skill like that at all. Like I made my logo. That was like trace and stuff, but and that'll change again. But
Yeah. Yeah, the graphics are always evolving with us.
yeah, it's one of my biggest. I learned a lot doing this, a whole lot. Before this, it was like I click on YouTube and watch a video. I didn't know how to upload anything or anything like that. Forget about video editing and all that.
Yeah.
Even the computer and stuff. I dealt with them in work, and I kind of left them there. I didn't really do much here, but it's amazing how much you learned starting this.
It's true. Video editing is kind of cool too.
Yeah, we started off with just like Windows Live.
Windows Movie Maker.
Movie Maker, yeah. And then something happened and it didn't work anymore, and we got another editor, and I started fooling around with it, and just very basic stuff. And then, was it last summer?
It was Christmas time.
Christmas time? Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Just since Christmas?
Yeah.
Wow. So I stopped editing so much, and Charla took over, starting to edit most of it. And the little tiny bit that I learned, she learned that like in a day, and then just started to expand on it and finding more. So now our stuff looks even better. I have no idea how she gets like stuff to scroll across the screen, because I have no idea how to do that.
Well, I search in YouTube and they have tutorials on how to do it, and I just spend all that time watching all that stuff to learn it.
Yep. So yeah, learn a lot, just constantly just trying new stuff and testing stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all trial and error.
Yeah.
I should have you talk to Jen. Like I get her to play the game on the table at times. So, what's one of the biggest challenges you faced during your adventures in the YouTube?
One of our biggest challenges.
Yeah. I'd have to say our networking's not all that great, because we're kind of shy. Like, it may not come across that in our videos, because, I mean, it's just us in front of a camera in our basement talking to each other. But, like, to actually, start networking, writing emails, trying to, like, source stuff from publishers and stuff, that's not our cup of tea at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. That was one of mine. Along with the camera, it took me a long time to get you comfortable with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still not completely.
I tried doing like a solo, like I in the summer I have a lot of time off, so I tried doing a little bit of like solo camera work, and I'm comfortable in front of the camera as long as like Charla's with me. But by myself, I stutter and I start to fall apart, and I can't keep my train of thought. And it's almost like if I'm in front of the camera, if I start to falter, she kicks in and keeps me on track,
we catch
back
each
and
other,
forth. And that helps a lot.
Yeah, I did find that when Jenny came aboard.
Yeah.
Although I still mutter and stutter and all that, but
it happens.
Yeah.
Well, with me, I'm trying to keep an eye on the camera and the audio and getting the rules right and all that, and Jen's just there playing the game. So. Okay, so where was I? Challenges. All right. Yep. Now, what's your vision for Sweethearts?
I don't know. My vision is just to continue having fun with it.
Yeah, because it's more of a hobby than anything, really.
Yeah.
So as long as it's fun. But we've evolved the channel a lot, because we started out just with the basic video, like, here's an intro, here's a little bit how to play, and I review. But now we've kind of cut it into 3 different videos so that we're not limited for time.
Yeah.
So they can watch, if you want to watch the overview, that's one video. If you want to watch the playthrough, that's another video. If you want to watch a review, that's a whole other video.
Yeah.
So you're not stuck trying to fast forward through certain parts of your video.
Yeah.
And then we have a few other things that we put on the channel too, like live Twitch and...
Yeah, lists. Just us blabbing about games.
Yeah.
We try, I don't know, we're trying lots of different things just to see what people like.
What they respond to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for a format with the three separate videos, we asked our viewers what would you like to see us go with, like where would you like us to see us go with this channel, and the responses were so different. Like one person responded and said, you should just do live playthroughs and nothing else, and yet other people are like,
we want to see more
reviews,
lists.
more lists.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of like split it up, and that way the viewers that like the reviews can watch just the reviews, and the people that like the playthroughs can just watch those. So yeah. We try to do that a lot, is just try to say, what do you guys want to see, and see how they like it.
Okay.
Our cats are fighting off screen.
Yeah.
Now, are your tastes different in gaming? Like me and Jen are total opposites. So I'm curious, is your taste in gaming different?
Well, we have a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
Like, we're both, I would have to say, Euro gamers.
Yeah, we like a lot of heavy strategy in our games.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But you like Kemet, and I don't really.
Yeah. We're both similar in that we don't tend to like a lot of take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I guess I like Kemet because it's combat, but it's very unique combat. So that's one.
Yeah.
You like cute games.
Yeah, I'm all about the cuteness.
That's Jen. Yeah.
I like games that are awesome.
Yeah. But I grew up in a house where we played like cribbage and a lot of different like hearts and classic card games. And I can still sit down and play that for an afternoon, but Justin can't play any of that.
No. Card games like that, they drive me nuts.
I don't know. I learned math by playing cribbage, so
Yeah.
That's how our house was.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we grew up.
Yeah, Jen and I never really got into even the mass-produced board games growing up, but she holds a lot of sentimental value to them.
Yeah.
Her mother used to play them all the time on the weekends.
Nice.
So I can see where you're coming from that.
Yeah.
Me and Jen will actually, she'll I'll go through the collection and get rid of some, and she can't comprehend that. She has games that are 30 years old over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she can't comprehend me getting rid of one because we don't like it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Now, what was I gonna say? Like I said, I'm in a little bit of pain today. The thoughts, okay. Yeah. Now, do you find yourselves with the collection getting into that? Like one wants to get rid of one and the other one doesn't.
There's some discussion sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Like it's not heated or anything.
No.
But
there's some games that, are they really getting to the table? Should we look at trading them in?
Yeah, let's play that again and reassess.
Yeah. Recently, just this past winter, we've gotten into some math trades. So that's something that's new. And the first math trade we did was a no-ship math trade. So we got to get rid of a whole bunch of games and get like a whole bunch back.
Of new ones.
And that kind of opened our eyes to the possibilities of what do we do if we need to actually get rid of some of the games. We're getting more games? Well, all right then, let's talk.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden games were currency, and it was like, woo, that's
so that
awesome.
Was nice. But there's a couple of games that I'll look on the shelf and like, should we get rid of that? And she's like, no. And then she's like, what about Dominaire? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but if we got one to replace it that was similar and better.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, I'm actually in one now. They are pretty cool. The problem is with me, it's like, I'm getting rid of a game, but I keep forgetting one's coming back.
Yeah.
We're going through the collection. I would like to get another bookshelf, and Jen doesn't want that, because she knows what's going to happen. But yeah, we're working on that now. But I've actually did slow down, partially because I'm out of work right now. But even before that, I was starting to slow down.
Yeah.
Well, I find it kind of goes up and down because you get a whole bunch of games and then you need to play them all. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, we've played everything. Let's try something new. And then you buy a whole bunch more. And so it's always a little roller coaster.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for me. We haven't been getting to the table as much. Jen's got some stuff going on with her dad and all, but partial is that we're not playing. I have like 10 now that I haven't played. And I want to get them to the table. And then part of it is I haven't really been excited by some of the stuff coming out lately. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I find a little bit too is it's influenced by like what's happening with our local gaming scene. So if we got people coming over to play a lot, that influences what I might want to get.
Yeah, what we buy.
Yeah. Whereas if suddenly it drops off and it's just me and Charla, we might just look at the games that we're just going to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, especially over the past year where we've tried to host a little bit more and stuff, that's influenced it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. What is the scene like that up there in Nova Scotia?
Well, we're from quite a small town.
Yeah.
So there's
actually quite a lot, though.
There's quite a few people, that are interested.
Yeah.
It's just there's no regular meetups or anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of whenever you make the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's I find it's regional. Like in the colder climates, it's usually bigger gaming. Like where I'm at, there's a couple here. I go up to Pennsylvania, about an hour away, hour and a half, a quarter away. Just because I went to one down here and I didn't like the vibe. It's a bunch of college kids, and I didn't get their sense of humor. But yeah, that's how it is here. Like I could either go up to Philly or up to Dallastown. You know, that's basically it. I think there's one down by Baltimore too, but I haven't really looked into that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
There's a game cafe a couple hours away in Halifax that is doing quite well. So we've gone a couple of times, and we're hoping, in the summer to maybe hit up there a little bit more because it's a really nice atmosphere. They have a lot of really good games, which is really nice, and they're friendly. So.
Okay. Now, what I've never been to a game cafe. What's that like? Is it like basically gateway games or?
They had everything. They had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Gateways. They had your old classics. They even had like Monopoly and Yahtzee and stuff like that. And then they had some pretty heavy Euros there.
Yeah, they had a nice like heavy strategy section with some Euros in it.
They had like a lot of small little card games too, like a Flux and 11sies and I don't know what else, but little teeny ones.
They try to have like it's not like wall to wall gaming, but they have a nice big section of shelves, and there's like a small section of a bunch of games for each kind of, I guess, gamer style or genre. And there's a lot.
And
they
must have some big games too, like 4X's. It's not really our thing, so it didn't stand out to me, but they probably did.
Possibly.
But
so it's nice. You go in, you sit down, you order something to eat and drink, you pull a game out, and you can either teach it yourself or call someone over to kind of teach it to you, which is kind of nice. And the couple times we've been there have been really busy.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's a hopping place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. It was voted best first date night or something in Halifax. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Now, on the what types of games do you choose to showcase on the channel? I mean, I know everybody's got their little thing that's different, but with these guys,
anything and everything that we're into.
Yep.
Yeah. We are mostly a two-player. Like that's where we play the bulk of our games, just me and Charla. So a lot of our games we're showcasing this is a game that's good for two players.
If you need 3 players to play it, we probably can't showcase it because it's just the two of us.
Yeah. And I think we have very, very few games that require 3 players or more.
Yeah.
It's a big, like, if we're looking to buy a game and it requires 3 players, there's not a good chance we're going to buy that.
Probably not.
Unless it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Zion. I guess that's 3 or more.
Yeah. And then there was Manila. That was a 3-player game.
That's a 3 or more. But there's variants for those. So.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So you're not a stickler for the designer's rule set. You'll use variants and stuff like that.
We do, and sometimes we get rules wrong anyway, and then all of a sudden they become a variant.
Yeah. We have a couple of variants that we play with sometimes. We don't like to make variants for lots of stuff.
No.
Every now and then something will hit us like, yeah, let's try this.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time we played Manila, is it Manila?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time we played Manila, which was at the Board
Boardroom
Cafe.
Game Cafe, because I saw it in a review and I thought that is a game I need to try. So when we're at the cafe, saw it. Of course, that's the first one I grabbed.
So we sat down to like start to play it, and I'm halfway through the rules, reading it real quick, and it's like, this is for 3 players. So you had to come up with like a really quick 2-player variant right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Which worked.
Good enough to make us search out a copy and buy one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I usually stick to what the designer intends. But while I'm playing, if there's a question, we'll just wing it. Until later. But I do try, because I found I was playing the game wrong for a year, but and then read the rules again. So I try to stick to that now.
Yeah. There was a game we were playing for probably a year, and a new reviewer came up and we're like, oh, well, we know that game. Let's watch that review and see, what they think of it, because then we could relate our taste to their taste. Anyway, we were watching it, and I was like, is that how you play? Are we playing this wrong? Yeah. Dustin Reese was like, yep, we've been playing that wrong the whole time. It's kind of funny.
And then played it the right way, and it was better.
It's true. It did change the game a lot and made it way better.
Yeah. That was Castles of Burgundy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say. It's embarrassing.
I'm good with it. One of the conventions that's local in Halifax, I went there a couple of years ago, and Steve Jackson was there, and he was doing a big Munchkin tournament. And so you put your name in and randomly got drawn for small groups, and then as you went through the ranks, the last game was against Steve Jackson himself, and I'm like, oh, this is great, I'm going to play this. And in the first game, somebody did something, and I threw another monster at them, and everyone just stopped and stared at me with this look of like, what are you doing? And it was because I hadn't realized that we've been playing Munchkin with this little house rule forever and didn't know. And everybody at the table was like, you can't do that. And then they like ganged up on me and kicked me out. Never got anywhere near to playing against Steve Jackson. So yeah, we try to stick to the rules, and just every now and then we'll come up with a variant, but very rarely.
Sometimes by accident.
Yeah, sometimes by accident.
Yeah, it happens. Like I said. Well, mine was Pandemic, which was the game that got me into the hobby.
Okay.
And I was actually making the game harder on myself.
Isn't that game hard enough?
It's like the one condition in my head was you had to eradicate everything, and it's not. Yeah, so it was like it was about a year, and I forget why I checked the rules and finally figured it out, but I think it was one of the expansions or something. I don't remember, but yeah, and then Jen, she kind of she's on the fence with the co-op games because she doesn't really like to lose.
Okay.
So she made fun of me for that for a good while. But yeah, she's the co-op games. We just tried XCOM again tonight, and she's not feeling it. She says.
Okay.
I think because she had to play 2 roles, so that is kind of a little bit too much with 2 people.
I was gonna say, like, is it good with 2? Because there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of real time. Like, you got 30 seconds. Get this done.
Yeah, it's.
stuff.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay.
Like with two players, one plays the guy who puts the soldiers out, and then the one who puts like the satellite out, and then the other player will put do the researcher and the last roll, which I can't remember offhand right now. They do like the crisis cards and all that. So I didn't think it was too bad because like the scientist is kind of like the slowest one, along with the guy who does the app. So they split them apart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, Jen's thing was it didn't give her enough time to read the cards because she was playing two roles. Then we're still new. This is only the second time we played it, so that was part of it. And I don't like the way the rules are presented. Being on the app, there is.
Yeah, it's just the app, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a section for the rules, but if you have a specific question, you got to search through everything. You got to kind of guess where it is in the rules and then search through that. And then I think they should add like an index or something.
Yeah, that's time consuming.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Jen wants to try it with 4 players to see if she likes it better. And both times we were under 4 players, so
Okay.
We'll see. But yeah, she doesn't like to lose too much. She's not a sore loser. She just doesn't like to lose. Yeah.
I don't
works
think
out because I always
like
lose. It kind of works out because I always lose, so we're good.
I like close games. I like to win by like 1 point.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
That 1 point. Like, what's that one little thing you could have done different to win, but you didn't?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big thing with a lot of our game groups is a lot of us like that 1 point win, and then we hold it over each other for days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the good ones. What I find is if I'm good at a game, Jen will watch me, and then she'll steal that strategy.
Yeah.
And then she'll tweak it, and then throw it back at me, and then I'll just never win that game again. Do you find that a lot, Justin?
It depends on what we're playing. If we're playing a Stefan Feld game, I will lose consistently until I realize what Charla's doing, and then I'll start to mimic what she's doing.
Yeah, right.
I think the first 5 or 6 games of Trajan, you whooped my butt.
I did. Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, you gotta figure out that little Mancala thing with all the extra pieces that I have not been doing. And I learned how to play it from you, and then I won.
Yeah, but still, Istanbul, I've never won a game yet.
That's true. Yeah. Have you been watching what I play?
I don't do anything different than what you do. You just get to everything before I get there.
We'll have to try that again with you as the first player.
Maybe.
There you go. You can start it off.
Yeah.
I'll just do what you do. Not that we like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, good.
I was just gonna say we don't like keep track of wins or losses, but from what I can remember, it seems like we're fairly even.
I would say.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on a losing streak, and I'll be like, I haven't won 6 games, or I've lost 6 games in a row,
Yeah.
Let's play something I'm good at.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually what Jen does. No, actually, I'm the one on the losing streak most of the time for like long stretches. Again, because of the channel, with cameras and all that. Sometimes I'm just bad at games she wants to play all the time, and I think she picks them on purpose, to be honest with you. But we look at it differently. Like Jen has to win, and I'm just there for the game, the experience.
Yeah.
But Jen's there to whoop my ass, basically.
It depends on what kind of mechanics are in the game too. Like if it's really tactical, Justin's probably better at it.
Yeah.
But if there's long-term strategy, sometimes I'm better at those games.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely better at the random luck stuff.
Yeah.
Like Machikoro, I win that a lot.
Yeah. The random. If it's too random, too much luck, I don't tend to do very good.
No.
Okay. Yeah, me and Jen are kind of the reverse.
Okay.
To an extent.
Yeah.
All right. What time is it? All right. Now, what do you see coming? What's new coming to Sweethearts or Rivals in the future?
Well, we do have a couple of new things kind of coming up. What do we name it again? Oh yeah, Waxing Philosophical.
Yeah.
Where it's not really a review, but it's like us just talking about a game.
Yeah. Our reviews of games, we've developed kind of a format, and we stick really close to it. So we thought maybe games that maybe we haven't played enough to really review yet, or anything like that, or just games we just want to
something we want to talk about. Yeah. Because sometimes the videos that do the best on our channel are the ones that we're just sitting there yakking at each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So we thought we'd put a little bit more of that in.
Yeah.
So we're going to start that up soon.
Yeah.
We started comparing some games. I think we've only gotten 2 of those out so far.
We've got 1 out, and 1 is coming out.
And 1 is coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've got it recorded and edited. It just hasn't been live yet.
Yeah. And then we decided, instead of easing ourselves into that, we would just go off the deep end, and we compared Robinson Crusoe to Castaways.
Yeah, that was a little controversial.
Yeah. It was interesting. We got a little bit of flack for Robinson Crusoe, but a lot of the people that commented on it, the way that we either handled it or our responses, kind of won a lot of them over, which was nice.
Yeah, they could see why we said what we said anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like we changed their minds or anything.
No.
And that's not what we're doing the channel for anyway. Like, we're not here to change people's opinions or anything like that. We're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We just like talking about games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah. I actually look at it as an extension of hobby. I even budget the channel in with my gaming budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how many times do you play a game before you review it or feature it on the channel?
I don't think there's a set number.
No.
But once we get comfortable enough, we
have to, because we're gonna do an overview, which is I'm gonna kind of teach this is how you play the game. So I definitely have to feel comfortable enough that if some people just dropped by and wanted to learn how to this game, would I be comfortable teaching it to them? And then if we're comfortable with that, we've got some ideas. It's okay, let's review that.
Now, we've been playing Aquasphere quite a bit because we want to play it on Twitch.
Yeah.
I think we've played it 3 times, so now we're comfortable with the setup and how it flows and the rules and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm good enough yet to broadcast myself playing it.
Yeah.
I need to play that a couple more times.
Yeah, it's a very intricate game, so.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed looking at because we're a big Stefan Feld fan, so we've got a lot of his games. And looking at the games that we've covered on our channel, they are the lighter of the Stefan Felds. We have not yet tackled any of the really big, intricate ones.
Yeah.
Or in-depth ones. So it's just a matter of comfort. Are we comfortable
presenting it? And can we do a good job?
Yeah. And we still make mistakes.
All the time.
We did Takedo and the Crossroads expansion. And we did the overview, and we got all the rules right, and then proceeded to play it incorrectly for the playthrough. And I was watching it, and I was like, didn't I just explain that correctly? And and then completely messed it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're almost going to be famous for stuff like that.
I've actually started filming the overview after the gameplay, because of that. Just so I could correct myself.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I have to start doing that.
Because I'm the same. I take explaining the rules very serious because, like you said, you're trying to show somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the gameplay and all that's pretty loose, And I've done mistakes. I pointed out while I'm playing it and then continue to do it. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, with me, it's just the videos are meant to give you a feel of the game,
Yeah.
The rules overview was never really meant to be in it, and it just kind of came in. And then the final thoughts, which is I don't consider myself a reviewer. It's just what I think about the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been trying to get a little more in depth with it, but I'm still very uncomfortable with it. You know, and the only reason it's there is because of Jen. You know, she said when she watched the first one, she said you need something else, and that's when that came out about. But you know, to me, even if I show a game, you're going to play it and you're going to think something totally different anyway. So
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I'm not very uncomfortable to say my opinion, because once they see it, they're going to know for themselves whether they're going to like it or not.
Yeah. And my big thing is if I'm going to give an opinion, or if anyone's going to give their opinion, it's, as long as there's a reason why, like, why is that your opinion, then I'm interested. Even if it's like, this is a game that I hate, and it's a game that I love, I'll watch the review to see, well, why do they hate it? Because I'm curious. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Are those the reasons I love it? Oh, well, it is.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, have you done a game that you dislike on the channel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah.
We gave it a review that was, here's all the reasons why we think people like it and how it's a really well-designed game, and here's why we don't like it at all.
And it's not a fit for, like,
Yeah.
us as a two-player couple. Yeah.
So that was what we kind of got a little bit of flack on, was people were watching the review and were almost like shocked, like, how could you possibly not like this game?
Mm.
And so,
I mean, it's a very excellent game for sure. Like, we rated it excellent. It's not because our opinion of the game was poor.
no.
It's just it wasn't a good fit for us two.
Yeah.
As gamers.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the reasons why those people were like, you can't hate this game. And then we said, well, this is why we don't like it and our reasons. And it kind of brought them around. Like, okay, well, we can understand why you wouldn't like it. And we were never saying it's a bad game.
Oh, heavens. No.
Yeah. So that's a big part of any kind of reviewing for board games, is just understanding kind of where someone's coming from with the review.
And the tricky part for us, too, is, like, all the games we review, we've actually purchased with our own money.
Yeah.
So we've researched them. So chances of us buying a game that we absolutely can't stand is going to be quite slim.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yep.
Yeah, I found most guys don't want to put the time into it.
Yeah.
You know, for a big game.
Yeah.
Me and Jen just recently went through that with X-Files. Yeah.
Okay.
Neither one of us really liked it, but we did do a video on it. And
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Jen said she kind of felt bad because she didn't like it in the way she, how she presented it at the end. And I'm like, I just feel bad because I got to edit it for 10 hours.
Yeah.
But that one, I knew what I was getting into before. I figured it'd be a good gateway game,
Okay.
And we tried it, and it wasn't. We tried it with casual gamers. I get maybe non-gamers. They played a couple,
Okay.
and it really wasn't. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, most guys don't want to put the time into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be something maybe for the waxing philosophical, is
Oh yeah, we could talk about
a game and why we're not going to put any more effort into it, because we have run into games where, like, this is an okay game, but I can't see us putting any more effort into this. A lot of our gaming is just purely fun, and if we're not having fun, then we're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So
It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it's the same here usually. Usually, like I said, me and Jen look at the gaming a little differently.
Yeah.
But she likes silly party games. I can't stand them. And trivia games and word games, and I can't spell, so
Yeah.
And I'm kind of other end. I'm like the more thematic, more Euro heavy strategy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it works out. For the most part, I gotta give in to her. It's actually why we did coconuts the other day.
Oh, nice.
She loves that game. It's kind of fun chasing them coconuts around the house with the cat. Swatting at them.
That'd make a good video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had added that one. That's what I call a quickie. It's like they're basically one shots. You know, no
Mhm.
very little editing and all that. That one I did have to edit a good bit because of the cat.
Yeah, half of our edits actually are because of the cat.
Yeah.
Jumping up, interrupting our train of thought or whatever.
Yeah.
Knocking over the microphone and stuff like that.
Yeah, he actually broke one of the mounts for the tripod on me.
Oh.
I'm still getting used. He knocked the camera over and it just snapped. But I'm still trying to get used to filming with him. Like everything has bells now, you know, and still trying to get used to filming with him. Like I said, I'm hoping he calms down soon. But
Yeah.
he's only 4 or 5 months old.
Oh yeah.
After a year or so, they get a little bit more calm.
And you know what the public doesn't see in most cases, Jen has to have him in every video, every single one. And I edit most of it out, but she'll get it when I'm not looking, you know, and like it's something that I need to put in for the game, you know.
There are viewers out there that like to see cats messing up board games, though. We have found out. We get quite a few comments.
Speaking of, what's like, I get harped on. Well, not harped on, but a lot of people contact me about my wedding ring or the lack thereof. You know, so what's something you get a lot that just seems off the wall to you?
Well, for the most part, our comments are pretty positive.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, thanks for reviewing this," or I've been wondering about. There's one there for the village that they said, "I was interested in the game, but I didn't really see it explained in a way I understood it. But after your video, I think I'm gonna buy it."
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah. We get comments when we make mistakes, which we do. Not like a tremendous amount, but enough that there's a lot of comments. And then we have this weird thing where we'll pronounce
words wrong all the time.
Completely wrong. And sometimes it's a mistake, and sometimes it's us just being goofy. But we have a lot of people like, that's not how you pronounce it. This is how you pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, like strategery?
Yeah, strategery. Yeah. We had somebody who lives in Japan teach us how to pronounce Takedo correctly.
Yeah, because we were saying Takedo.
Yeah. Just stuff like that. Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Which is archipelago. Yeah. So it's like you put an entirely like new syllable in that game's name. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny.
Although the very first comment we ever had was not nice.
No.
I almost wanted to stop doing videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do get them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't horribly mean.
No, it's just I was thinking, give me a break. It's my very first video. Like I'm a shy little Canadian from like nowhere village, and yeah, don't be saying mean things about me.
But it did push us to like work on the format of the show.
A more structured format. Yeah.
Which worked out quite well.
Yeah, I found that too. I like constructive criticism. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't get that, but I do like that. You know, and I've had the same thing with the pronunciation and stuff. Sometimes, some of it was like Jen implants stuff in my head, like with Takanako. She goes num 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 when the panda eats bamboo or something. So I said it on a video, and then Carcassonne shall call Carcassonne, and I said that.
Yeah, I do that too. Carcassonne, yeah.
We did a thing on Zularetta, and I purposely left out the kangaroos because my sister calls them kangajoos. And I purposely left that out.
Just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I've been called out on the same thing. So, I think everybody has, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we all have our little quirks. And yeah. In different parts of the world, too, it could probably mean different things. But, you just do what you're used to, I guess.
All right, so normally I ask people 3 questions. The first one is, what's a game you hate and everybody else loves?
Do you want to go first?
A game that I hate and everyone else loves?
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't that?
Oh yeah, I guess the game that we don't like that everyone seems to love would be Robinson Crusoe. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like anytime we get like any criticism, it's usually a comment or two. But we had conversations on Board Game Geek over comments on Robinson Crusoe because we didn't like it. So I guess that would be our
But
big
I don't
one.
hate it. Hate's such a strong word.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Just don't enjoy it enough to really want to stick with it.
Yeah, it is a brutal game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to invest a lot of time to get good at it.
Yeah. We had individuals who were watching the playthroughs and telling their friends to watch the playthroughs and then
Because we
giving
did so
us
horrible.
yeah, and they were like laughing at it how horrible we did, and then give us like 3 or 4 paragraphs of tips on like this is the strategy you should go, and I'm like, wow, that's you put a lot into understanding this game, and I just don't have that interest for it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. That was the first time that really happened. Was a lot of conversations about how we just did not know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the one that we don't like, that people like, and they couldn't understand why we didn't like it.
I don't know. Do people like Heroes Wanted?
Heroes Wanted? Some people like it.
Mm.
Charla does not like that game.
No.
No.
I thought it was kind of goofy, and kind of enjoyed it for the goofiness. And then there's the little quirks for bonus points, and mine was like creepy, where every now and then I'd have to like touch someone and say what my name was, and I think I just did that way too well. And I think my name was like Worm Boy or something stupid like that. So it's like,
remember.
I'm Worm Boy, and people are like, just stop doing that. It's creeping me out. So yeah, that's an interesting game.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if anyone asks me to play that one, I might say I have to do the dishes or something.
They have to do the dishes in the dishwasher.
Yeah. I'll do it by hand, just not to play that game. Yeah.
Okay, so the next one's the reverse of that. What's one that you love and everybody else dislikes?
One of the games that we have that I love and can't see me getting rid of is Dominaire. And it never reaches the table. It is really long, and with all the powers from the cards, it gets so complicated. Even though you only got 2 actions, there's like you can string all these things. But I love flipping over the cards each round to see which individuals or characters are in my conspiracy. And then that final round where you get to flip over that last card and actually see who you are just blows my mind. I love it. And so that never hits the table. That's one.
I'm not in love with that one.
Yeah.
But one game that I'd always like to play when we have big groups over and they always have an excuse why they don't want to play it is Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
And it's always, oh, I'm too tired to be creative.
Yeah. It's a really great game, but you need...
I love that creativity
yeah.
on the fly.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. So that's one that doesn't hit the table as much as we'd like because the groups don't get into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, some of them games you do need the right group.
Yeah, definitely.
Now the next one is... by the way, I stole this from Lance Meister, but the next one is what's a conspiracy theory that you buy into, if there is one? Yeah.
Like a board game conspiracy?
Any in general. I have heard a couple
like
board games. Yeah, but...
I don't know that we're big conspiracy fans in Canada.
I don't know.
Like the guy from that 70s show. Cars that want to run on water, man.
Oh, yeah. Cars that run on water, man. Here we go.
Maybe that one.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd run on snow, we'd be singing right now.
It's true.
Shoveling snow into their like gas intake or whatever. There we go. That'd be nice.
They should make cars that run on water, man. Yeah.
I haven't heard water. Hydrogen.
Yeah.
Not water.
It was Hyde on that 70s show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, if you met somebody out on the street just getting into the hobby, what advice would you give them?
I'd probably, if they had a board game cafe around their area,
Yeah.
and they want to get into board games, that would be a good place to send them.
Yeah.
Because they've got board games for every different type, all the way from gateway to heavy, classic.
And it's really great to walk in there, even before you look at games you could possibly play, but just walk in there and look around at what everyone else is playing. Because that's amazing. You look and somebody over there is playing like Twilight Imperium, and then over there they're playing Cards Against Humanity, and then Carcassone's over there. So just to be able to look around and see the possibilities,
Yeah.
and then sit down and be able to have someone help you find a game that was right for you.
Yeah. Because it's really hard, like, people that aren't into the hobby, and they say, you play board games, like Monopoly, it's really
Yeah.
hard to explain to them, like, no, like, they're different. They're like Farmville, but like on a table. And it's like hard to explain to the everyday person.
Yeah. So yeah, a game cafe would be a place to start. Plus it's kind of like a going out and hanging out with friends type like place you can go.
Yeah.
So that helps too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't have one in your area, I don't know. You'd have to show them how to use the Board Game Geek or something.
Yeah.
Or like a whole bunch of different review sites too. That would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. We're big on researching games. Don't just run out and buy a game. Like research it, because there's so many games, and it takes a lot to understand even what your own tastes are.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, even if you do a lot of research, you can still, like we're starting to discover just recently, like games that have all the technology out, so that all the options are always available. We're not fans of that so much, and we're just starting to realize that after so many years in the hobby. So yeah, research is a big thing. Plus you're spending a lot of money, so you want to make sure you get something good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you're right on the. It took me about a year before I got my taste down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it swings. It's like now
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a thematic spurt, and then I'll go back to Euros, and it
Yeah.
swings a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, us too.
Definitely.
And I'm the same way. I watch Joel Eddy's probably closest to me in the gaming, in my taste. I watch him a lot, but
Yep.
You're right. The reviewers do help quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different reviewers, so then you can usually find someone that fits your taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now if you met somebody just wanting to get started in the media aspect of it, what advice would you give to them?
Watch a lot of reviews and try to find something. You don't have to be completely different, but find something a little bit unique to you. You definitely want to find like your voice, your opinion.
Yep.
And start small. So don't go out and blow a couple $100 on equipment. No.
Because, I mean, you might get into it and then all of a sudden it's like you say, oh, it takes how many hours to edit a video? This is horrible. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like.
So, yeah, start small.
Yeah.
And I guess a big thing would be just like kind of getting with your passion. So don't try to review every board game or play every board game. Just, do what you're going to really enjoy. Because if you're not enjoying it, people are going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Then they're just going to be bored.
Because this isn't anything to make money off of. So it's just a hobby, really.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's good advice. Now, if people want to get a hold of you or reach out to you, where would they do that?
Our email address is sweetheartsorrivals@gmail.com.
Yep.
We also have Facebook. Just search for Sweethearts or Rivals. What else do we have?
We have the Twitter. That's at @sheartsorrivals.
Yep.
And.
Yep. Board Game Geek, it's Justin Killam. And then Charla has her own. That's Charla Killam. So you can message us on that. So quite a few different ways to just say, hey, and we check them all fairly often.
Okay. Now, is there anything else you want to touch on before we shut this down? Or
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think-
I don't know. I'd like to say thanks for having us on. That's
Yeah,
for
thanks.
Oh no, thank you. Yeah.
Sure. We're so excited to have you contact us. We're like, what? Us? Really?
An interview? Really?
Yeah,
it was great.
like I said, thank you. I made it an effort to try and reach out to more people in the hobby.
Mhm.
For a while, I've been doing these for a while, but they only been like once a month.
Mhm.
But when I was working, it was my days off for Monday and Tuesday, and I was working the graveyard shift, so I had no life. So it was a little tougher.
Yeah.
And then during my days off, I have a place down the shore during the summer, so it got really tough to do any of this. So I've been trying to make it a point to reach out a little bit more in the hobby.
Nice.
But yeah, no, like I said, I enjoy your channel there. That's why I ask you. And that's usually how it comes about. If I enjoy watching somebody's stuff or listening to their podcast or whatever, I'll give them a call.
Awesome.
But like I said, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Now I would like to talk to you guys a little bit after we shut this down, but I never know how to end these. So, I guess I'd like to ask the viewers, thanks to the viewers for watching.
Yeah. Thanks.
We appreciate it too.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time.
Laters.